What's up, dudes and dudettes? I'm making this video because you're gonna see me on TV this week. At least there's an opportunity to see me on TV this week, and I wanted to tell you guys where to find it if you were so inclined to do so. In my last video I talked about getting a pair of Jordans, and I said that, you know, I had done some recent TV work and I was able to afford them. The very first thing I booked when I came to Atlanta is getting ready to air on Thursday, at least the start of it. I booked a small role on a sitcom that's coming out on BET+. It's called The Miss Pat Show, and the very first episode is airing on Thursday. I don't know if they're going to release the whole series like Netflix does, or if it's going to be one episode at a time, but on Thursday, The Miss Pat Show is coming to BET+, and I really suggest you watch it. I think, because I've seen a couple episodes of it, I think that it's just as good as The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I think it's going to be the next Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It is adult, like there's cursing and stuff in it, which is awesome, in my opinion, but I think it's great. So, that being said, if you have BET+, look out for The Miss Pat Show Thursday the 12th. Now, if you have no idea who Miss Pat is, that's going to change over the next year. She's got I think she's got this TV show coming out, and I believe she's got a movie, and I believe she's getting a special on Netflix. I could be wrong, don't quote me, but that's what I've heard. So over the next year, they're really rolling out hard with the Miss Pat show, or with the Miss Pat stuff. Miss Pat is a comedian, and she has had her own trials and tribulations, and they focus on a lot of that in this show. So I think it's really good, and I hope you guys watch it. It's the first thing I've ever done that was filmed in front of a live studio audience, which was a little bit of a difficulty considering COVID and everything that's going on. So basically what we had to do was, even though my part was very small, I'm just in one scene, I had to be there for the whole week. So the very first day we did blocking, which means that they figure out where everyone's going to stand and so forth and how they're going to do the scene. The second day they did blocking with camera blocking. Because it's a sitcom, it was a multi-cam sitcom. So they had a couple different cameras filming the entire thing, and they shot it basically like a play. They just did the whole run through, and there were cameras sitting wherever they needed to be, and they had to figure out where the cameras needed to move during the scene. You know, so they had to figure. It was basically like learning a new dance, if that makes any sense to you. The camera operators had to know where to move without hitting each other or bumping each other, even if they had cranes in the shot and so forth. It was really cool to watch. I'd never been involved in a multi-cam setup like that. Everything I've done has been single cam thus far. So the third day, we went in and we filmed the whole thing. Filmed the entire episode, start to finish, and so we had one in the can. The fourth day, they brought in a live studio audience, and they sat them on bleachers, and they basically watched it like a play. They also had monitors up, so there was a couple set pieces that were around the corner where they couldn't see them, and so they had monitors so they can watch them like that. That way, there's no laugh track, it's just the live studio audience is laughing. The very first episode was filmed prior to COVID happening, so it's a little different. I mean, they got a bigger audience, I guess, but overall, I'm really super proud of it. There's a lot of things I've done that have been comedies, and I was like, is it though? And this is legitimately funny. It's legitimately heartwarming. Legitimately a really good show. And I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of being a part of it. And even though my part is small. And I'm in episode 3, by the way. The first episode I'm not in, but it's awesome. You should watch it anyway. And I'm certain the rest of the series is going to be great, because the episode I was in was great. So the team of writers they have were amazing. Shout out to Tom Simmons, who's another comedian. Oh, let me tell you about the part I was in. The part I was in was in a comedy club, and when I got to set, when they were finally getting ready to do my part and talk about the blocking and all that, the director told me what she wanted to do. She wanted me to basically come up and have a conversation with Miss Pat as she gets off stage, and I was like, that's odd, but all right. And then Miss Pat just walks off stage and leaves it empty, and I was like, that would never happen. I was like, can I say something? She was like, yeah, what? And I was like, that would never happen at a comedy show. Like, someone has to go back up and watch the stage. Like, you know, a host or something would come back up. And she's like, we'll just play music, it'll be fine. And I took that as, listen, you're just here for the day, you know, the week, I guess. You're just here for this little part. Just do your little part and we'll figure it out. And I was like, all right, no worries. I'll do my thing. And then Miss Pat came to set along with some of the writers who happen to be comedians. And the director told her that she wanted me to walk up in front of the audience and, you know, basically compliment her. And Miss Pat was like, no, that would never happen. They would kick his ass out. Like, you can't just walk up in front of a comedy club and block the whole audience, start having a conversation with the comedian. They would kick his ass out. She turns to me like, wouldn't they? You're a comedian, you know. And I was like, yeah, they would boot him the fuck out. Like, that would never happen. And she was like, all right, well, we could change it. What would you do? And I'm like, I could be leaning up against the wall. I could be sitting on a table. Like, you walk by and give her a fist bump kind of thing. And she was like, yeah, that's all that would ever happen. You can't just walk up in front of a whole crowd and just start talking to the comedian. That doesn't happen. and then they go to play out the rest of it, like, you know, telling her to get off stage and just walk off. And one of the writers steps up, Tom Simmons. He was like, hold on, that would never fucking happen. You can't just leave the stage empty. Like, someone has to walk, a host or something has to walk up and grab the mic. And I was like, that's what I said. And the director was like, that's true. It's what Adam said. He said, you can't just leave the stage empty. And I was like, right, see, that's what I said. And they were like, Miss Pat was like, listen, I'm a comedian. If it's the one thing I know, it's stand-up comedy. If the one thing I need to be authentic and real and feel like everything is right, it's this scene. This scene has to feel perfect. And we're not going to do it unless we're going to do it the right way. It has to be done the right way. And this is the one thing I know, because I've been in a lot of comedy clubs. And it was awesome. She didn't sound like a diva. She sounded magnanimous. She sounded like she had heart, like she wanted this to be perfect and right and ready. And, you know, everyone got on board and was like, yeah, let's do this right. And they were like, it was fun. It was interesting. They were like, all right, you guys are comedians. This is the world you live in. How do we make it right? And we were all like, it was collaborative in that moment, which I thought was amazing. Like, I felt more a part of it than just like my little tiny piece. And I'm like, I sit here, bam, and then I was even at one point I was like, you know, you can kill two birds with one stone, because they're trying to figure out who's going to come up to the microphone. I'm like, if you made me a comic, I can compliment her on the way out, and then I can grab the mic. And they're like, nah, we got a whole, Miss Pat was like, we got a whole room full of writers that are all comedians. We'll find someone to grab that mic. And so Tom Simmons is the one you see in that episode walk up to the mic, if they leave him in like that. But, so, Tom got to be in an episode. How cool is that? So, there you have it. I really hope you guys tune in. I hope you guys like it. I'm really proud of it. There's plenty more stuff to come. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Got a lot bigger stuff coming too. So anyway, I hope you guys like it. If you did, click the like button. That really helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys next video.
Love it.